Hello and welcome to FPL Weekly. And do I have some news for you? I mean, look, the avid listeners and people that watch the leagues and stuff will already know. But I had a good week. Listeners. If you are an avid listener, you'll know from last time that I decided to play my bench boost, which came with mixed reviews from my co-host. I had my reasons, and it paid off. And the reason it paid off was down to one man, and that man's name is Malo Gusto. Where I got lucky was I was very, very close between Gusto and Colwell, and we didn't actually we got team news, but all we got was Chilwell starts, Sterling starts, and Jackson starts. So we didn't get any other team news. But we were pretty sure they were both starting. The good thing with Gusto, he was 0.5 cheaper, but longer term, James will come back in for Gusto, whereas longer term, Colwell could play the whole season. All it was really that tipped me over the edge was Gusto was going to go up in price, and that kind of tipped it over the edge for me. And I wanted to have that 0.5 in the bank just for flexibility. Went Gusto, played my bench boost, and it really paid off because I wouldn't have started Gusto. I genuinely wouldn't have done. I set my team up as how it would have been. So you can't start instead of Chilwell. Stupinan had West Ham at home when he's been on fire this season, and Saliba had Fulham at home. So you could arguably start Gusto instead of Saliba, but I genuinely wouldn't have done. Fulham at home, Gusto wasn't exactly nailed. So yes, play my bench boost, got 78 points, got 18 off my bench, so would have got 60 without it. So look, you know, mate, 18 from your bench boost. Thanks very much. Move on. We'd all take 18 from our bench boost. So, yeah, good week. I said on the last pod how I was keeping huge faith in Bruno, and I have the same amount of huge faith in Bruno because he's an incredible option. He will spend most of this year in my team, if not all. He's 8.5. He should be 10, and he's so involved on penalties, great player. Anyway, a lot of people stepped up for me this week. Rashford came good. Saka, very interestingly, is back on pens. I, this week, was interested in doing Saka to Odegaard because I was convinced that Odegaard was on penalties. But interestingly, Saka took it even though both was on the pitch. So I don't need to make that move. I'm quite sweet, by the way, in general on penalty takers as a whole. Foden didn't start. We were playing golf together. I was gutted. Foden and Akanji didn't start. Akanji's got a bug. Apparently, did you hear Foden had a similar bug? Came on and got an assist, which was so funny. Came on for like 5 minutes. Chilwell got his clean sheet. Jackson got his goal, which he deserved for the first three weeks of the season. And Haaland scored, but missed a penalty. But we don't really care about Haaland captain because the thing is, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, anyone that knows what they're doing, captain Haaland this week. Anyone that captain Bruno, yes, this week you paid off. Good luck to you. If you're willing to go against Haaland captain against Sheffield United, good luck to you. And I think that's about it, mate. I've taken the floor. I mean, I haven't been overly smug. I could have been worse. I mean, I am winning FPL Weekly now, which isn't it's not a huge surprise. I am GOAT. So you're second. Look, mate, there's no harm. I've said this year on the golf course. There's no harm in being second to the GOAT. No harm at all. It's quite nice that we are now content creators and we are first and second in the league. We will be mentioning a lot this season about a league that we're in called the GTF Invitational. That's going to be £1,000 for the winner. Hopefully that's not fake news. Me and Ches are first and second in that league for £1,000. So that's going well. And I need to shut up now because otherwise it's going to be all me. And I'm sure you don't want to hear my voice for much longer. So, Ches, I want your thoughts firstly on my 78 points this week, please.
Finished? Yeah. Yeah.
For the time being, yeah.
Listeners, I wrote this. Johnny will talk uninterruptedly for 4 minutes.
Was it only 4 minutes? Wow.
Longer. It was longer. It was 5, mate. I predicted that at the start that you would talk for 4 minutes, and you managed to do 5. Well, you like. If anyone else was really bored and they've switched off, I'm sorry. Because X is talking now.
They're switched off, man. They're not listening anymore, so it doesn't matter.
I'm back, babies. I'm back. Okay. So I was kind of I alluded to this in the last week that however I'd scored more points than Johnny, and that my team wasn't bad, I wanted to get closer to Johnny's team. So I felt uneasy going into the week. I don't know why. I made some good transfers. I thought they were good transfers anyway. I thought I brought Foden in. I took Salah out. I brought Foden in, which was a like for like. They both got 5 points, even though Foden didn't start. And I brought in Bruno for Chukwuemeka. And obviously Bruno had a decent game week. So it worked out. My transfers worked out well. Again, making good decisions, making right decisions based on good gut feelings backed up with evidence. That's going to be my season, is going to be gut feelings backed up with evidence. That's how I'm going to continue to enjoy the game, and that's how I'm going to continue to make the right ones. If there's a 50-50, let the bookies or let the odds kind of decide. That's the way that I'm gonna do all the information do it, or let the price do it.
It's nice to know that Foden was only benched because he had a bug as well. So it means I'm not panic selling him.
Yeah.
What I would say as well is Cole Palmer going is only a good thing. It's one less body.
They have brought in.
They've brought in, Nunes, but he's more of a. He's going to take minutes off Kovacic, you think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty stacked in midfield. They've got Rodri, Stones, Calvin Phillips.
He might go. He's linked with you. He might go. I can see him going on loan. He ain't getting a kick this year. He needs football.
No, he does need football. Anyway. Did you see he's got into the England team?
Yeah, don't.
So him and Maguire getting in is an absolute joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the my game week was I can't think of my points was low, 54,
52?
something like that. 52, yeah, 50.
The average is 44. 52. We add on 10%, so it was a touch better than average.
Yeah, it felt very average. Like I got quite a few red ones, but that was mainly because the mini leagues. I got an overall red, but it was only like a 5,000 red, and at this stage of year, like that's nothing. That is literally nothing. The biggest hurt was the Chelsea lads, and that was a major fixture for Chelsea.
Yeah, which you kind of it went. Really
I predicted
well,
it,
but you semi knew it. Hence why you backed Jackson to score, because you were worried.
Yeah. So sorry. By the way, listen, like one of the main reasons why I do this is because betting on football, betting in general, I don't really like to do. I don't feel like I'm a lucky person, so therefore
it's a lovely interest in it without spending a lot of money.
Yeah, like the amount of time joy I get from it versus the money that I put into it / money I could potentially get out of it is I'm a net winner. I know I'm going to be. So therefore that's why I
99% of gamblers are net losers. So
yeah. That's so apart from Tony Bloom.
Baby. Ansu Fati, baby.
Yeah. Option nuts. João Pedro. So we're going to come on to transfers.
He comes in at 6 million midfielder, mate. I'll tell you what. Ansu Fati.
Oh,
anyway.
Fati. Yeah. Interestingly, I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of where. So yeah, really happy with my Bruno pick. Really happy with Haaland captain. It was the right thing to do, as you mentioned. And the overall team is moving forward, is looking okay. The one problem that I do have that needs addressing is João Pedro. He has not dropped down in price, and I can't see him dropping down less than 5.4. However, he has to go, unfortunately.
There's two huge reasons why he's now a sell. The first dropping didn't worry me too much. Enciso got injured, and everyone was like, and I said to you, he's a hold now. He's definitely a hold because the person that was in his position is injured. He didn't start, and Enciso's injured. That's a huge, huge concern. Secondly, Fatty's coming in. It's another body. So I think those two reasons are enough, yes, to sell. I don't need to sell this week personally because I could just bench him. But definitely from next week, when I roll and I do 2 transfers in the international break, I'd be surprised if he's not one of them.
Yeah, so that's my other point, and I think that we are both on a similar page.
Both rolling
at the moment,
aren't we? Both not doing anything.
I think I'm 90% sure I'm rolling. The main reason why I'm going to roll is because what you mentioned there, it's an international break.
Yeah.
So I just think that having 2 transfers with the amount of information that I'm going to have in 3 more weeks, basically, from when we're recording, like it's probably worth, even if he drops by 0.1 and the person who I want to get more than likely is going to be Darwin Núñez, I am probably happy to take the 0.2 hit. If one of them goes down 0.1, one of them goes up 0.1, I think I'm happy to take the 0.2 hit on it because I just think the added information, like we could literally, Chilwell could break his leg.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, and Reece James could be back in training.
Yeah, that's true. But it's nice to have Andy said the same thing. He's happy with his team as well. I'm really happy with mine. You're probably really quite happy with yours. It's nice to be in a luxury position where if nothing happens with my team this week, I'm not going to be rolling. I'm going to be rolling. Obviously, I'm not going to. And rolling, for those that don't know, means you're just not making a transfer. You're banking your transfer. And again, for those that don't know, you can only bank a maximum of 2. You can't keep banking transfers. But you have 1 this week. If you don't use it, you get 2 next week. And that just gives you a lot of power because you have 2 free transfers next week. You can use 3 for only a -4 point hit. You can also use 1 and go for 2 the next week. So having 2 is huge. And it's something that the more I play FPL, the more I want because it's just a huge thing to have. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're rolling. It's just nice to not have any fires to put out. Pedro's a semi-fire, but he's not injured. I almost want a fire. I want an excuse to make 2 transfers. I want to go, Chilwell's injured. Okay, that means I have to take him out. I'll take Chilwell and Pedro out and put in Wissa and Vardiol. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not wishing upon my team getting injured, but do you know what I mean? To have a reason to make transfers rather than going, I've got 2. What shall I do? I don't know really. Because then you end up taking out someone like Rashford, and then he ends up scoring a hat-trick.
Yeah. Well, we're not doing that. I think there's probably themes that we can talk about, and they probably revolve around my team a little bit more because I have potential to have some problems.
Yeah.
Let's start from the bottom, working our way up. Goalkeeper. I currently have Johnston and Turner. It's just been confirmed that Henderson has gone to
Palace.
Has gone to Palace. Okay. Now, from what I know, and I might have mentioned it before, I do have some intel. Henderson's injured currently.
Okay.
So the home against Wolves, probably Johnston. I'd be very surprised if they sign him and he starts this week because Johnston's done nothing wrong. And by the way, like both goalkeepers are very good, very good. England quality goalkeepers.
Yeah,
I feel like they might have chosen wrong. Like, why have they gone for Henderson when Johnston is fine? Like,
I think Henderson's a little bit better, but I know what you're saying.
I just don't really get it.
It's not a massive upgrade.
No. So I think Johnston is okay. Now, But the conversation is similar to Turner in the sense of they've signed a new goalkeeper, Forrest. There's a chance that he could be out of position. Now, ultimately, I'm going to carry on playing Johnston until he doesn't, and I'm going to carry on with Turner until it proves otherwise. And I think it would be very, very, very unlucky if I was to lose both goalkeepers at this point.
I agree. I think, like you say, the bottom line is it's not a fire now, but it's a potential fire.
Yeah, all of what we're going to discuss is a potential fire. I've got no fires currently, but there's lots of, apart from João Pedro. But he's
not injured, he's not suspended, he's just minutes risking.
No, so
and he's cheap. It's not as
but
if
he's cheap. It's 5. No, it's 5.5. So, and we're going to come on to wildcard as the final topic to talk about. But I'm hoping that I can hang on to my goalkeeper situation between now and then. Now, the issue is do you remember last year Ramsdale's price took off? It went from 4.5 to 5.3, I think it ended up being.
Yeah.
Now, you need to catch that goalkeeper. Yeah. Okay? You need to catch the goalkeeper that price
Areola.
goes. Areola. You've said it. Okay? Areola could finish the season on 4.8.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a fire. And if I'm sat in the position where I don't have a fire in 2 weeks' time after the international break, I could be making the transfer of João Pedro and Johnston to Areola and Nunes, for example, because Areola is guaranteed, is 50-50. So therefore, I'm definitely going to have a keeper, even if they have got City at home, granted. Yeah. I need to have a look at fixtures and stuff and make sure that they flip-flap well.
But that's why it's good to roll as well and gain more information, like you said, because I want to get a start into Darwin. What that means is I don't want to bring him in this week. I think he'll start, but I don't know. I want to see him start. And if I see him start, and especially if he scores against Villa, it gives me more confidence that I can bring him in.
I'm not even worried if he scores or doesn't score. I actually don't.
I think it helps.
I don't think I need him to score.
Okay.
And actually,
he's turned the corner.
I think. No. What I'm saying is, I don't need to see him score.
Yeah.
I just need to see him start because
Does Klopp need him to score though?
No. He plays Gakpo every week and he doesn't score.
Yeah.
So he's So yeah, there's one. I think that's a really good discussion point at the moment. Yeah. My next discussion point is Brighton assets. Now, I
only had 2. That's the reason why I only had 2.
Your fixtures turn.
Yep.
Is Purvis still a hold?
That's a really good question. I would say
Matoma's on the chocolate. For me, Matoma is a move on. I'm moving on from Matoma. So it's my chopping block players are João Pedro. Second on the list is Matoma, and then third on the list is sort my keepers out. That's my order of priority. But I think Purvis is a great option, and for me, I'm going to probably start benching him.
Yeah, there's 2 positives, 2 negatives. Positives are he's absolutely nailed. Second positive is he's extremely attacking and he's extremely good at football. There's 3. The negatives are our fixture run is bad and we are shipping goals.
Yeah.
So that's the balance. But in answer to your original question, I'm probably going to hold him. But the other thing is, because I don't have blanks, you have a Baldock and you have a... Do you have another blank? Do you just have a Botman? You have a Baldock and a Botman. Botman's injured and Baldock's injured, but he's a blank.
So
what I'm saying is I don't have a blank.
Interesting one with Botman is he's still flagged at 75% likely to play.
I've heard rumours from someone that's a Newcastle fan that say there's going to be 3 or 4 games. And you
3
may
or 4,
find out tomorrow.
3 or 4 games isn't a problem because you've got an international game week, and I'm not playing in this week because it's Brighton away.
Yeah. Let's see about the team news we get tomorrow. But what I'm really saying is, I'm not slagging off your team. What I'm saying is, I have a 15, and hence because of the bench boost, I have a 15. So what I'm saying is, I can bench Purvis. I want players to bench. I need players to bench. Otherwise, it's giving me a headache. So I am going to be holding Purvis, and I'm going to be benching him when necessary, because I just think he's, how much I love him. I get banging on about the game and how good I think he is. So it's a piece of Brighton. I'll keep one piece of Brighton. Pedro's going. I can keep one piece of Brighton. He's so nailed. He's a good price. He's going to go up in value.
Bulldogs got home to Everton this week, by the way.
Yeah, but is he still got a knock? Or was it... No, what did I send you? Transfer out.
Transfer out,
Might be going.
Which obviously we'll know about tomorrow.
Yeah, true. One to keep an eye on. And Bogle played in this position and scored, I think. So I don't know if he's as nailed as he previously was. That's all. So just keep an eye on that. If I were you, I'd be doing that research on whether you looking at predicted lineups, etc. And if he's nailed on to start, you could have a punt on him. But he just seems like
he played 70 in the last game. He played 0 against Sheffield United. But
against who? I mean, it can't be against Sheffield
0. Sorry, Jesus Christ, it's Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
So
he was
injured.
He was injured against us. Yeah. So for me, just really quickly, I'm going to be rolling. It's mainly because my team's okay. It's mainly because I want more information. International break coming up, and I've told you about the power of having 2. The only tiny fire I have is Akanji, who I actually brought in last week because I want a piece of the City defence, but he had a stomach bug last week. So can he start again this week? Yes. Am I in the need to sell? No. It's all about team use for me. If he comes out and says he's injured, then fine. But if he says he had a bug and now he's fit, then I'm going to take a punt on him because I think he's probably going to start. So other than that, and Pedro, who I can just bench this week because I've got no one else to bench. Put it this way, the bottom line for me is Purvis Estupiñán currently is my first sub at home against Newcastle. That's fine. That's fine. I don't need to make a transfer. Next week, we'll see. Someone might get injured on an international break. But yes, Pedro will be looking to come out for me as one of my 2 transfers next week. I may only do one. See, I may be able to afford Pedro to Wissa. Someone might come out and make themselves look like a great option at 6 million. I don't know, but I may be able to afford Pedro to Wissa. I will probably be doing 2 next week. It could be Pedro to Darwin and downgrade somewhere else, possibly.
Yeah, perfect.
That's it. And then we were just going to say quickly about the wild card. There's a lot of talk in the community about game week 9 wild card, and I'm at the moment mixed on it. I'm not saying I'll do it. I'm not saying I'm not. I might do it because it feels like that's the, in inverted commas, right thing to do, because there's a lot of fixture changes and fixture swings and etc. But at the same time, I do like to do a wild card when I really feel like it's beneficial and I really feel like I need to. And also, I was thinking about this the other day because obviously I think about FPL a lot. And in the 39 game week season, 38, but let's call it 39, that's split into thirds. If you were to play an equal level wild card, you've got 2 wild cards, game week 13 and game week 26 would be the levels. Yeah. So arguably 9 is a bit early. And like I said, I know you were shocked when I said to you this. If you do, the people are looking at the moment at doing a game week 9 wild card and a game week 29 wild card. That's 20 weeks. 20 weeks you've got without a wild card. That's a lot. So ideally, because my team I'm happy with my team, and because I don't have to have any fires to put out, if I come around to game week 9 and I'm still happy with my team and I've still got no fires to put out, am I really going to hit that wildcard button? I don't know. I don't want a wildcard, a luxury wildcard. So, I'm not sure, but the talk, all the talk is about, well, some people are doing it this week, but I think it's insanity personally. But I think a lot of the talk is about the game week 9.
The people who are doing, I can understand why people are doing it this week, and the reasons why are Newcastle is starting to turn. and Brighton is starting to go the other way.
Yeah.
So there's potentially 4 transfers there. The issue with doing it this week is you're doing it and then there's a massive international game week. It's mental.
Yeah.
So I just think,
like a lot of people said, and it's very interesting on the pods where people are saying you have to have exit plans. So Chelsea are good now and then they're disgustingly bad. So right now you'd have loads of Chelsea because the fixtures are unreal, but you need a Chelsea exit plan. Whereas if you wild card in game week 9, we don't need a Chelsea. I've got 3 Chelsea. I don't need a Chelsea exit plan because I can just exit plan them out in a wild card. So there's some players you have now that you're not going to want in 4 game weeks time. So you've got to have a double plan if you play it now, which I don't really like. Whereas they turn beautifully on game week 9.
Last year I was forced into a wild card. I made some decision. A lot of decisions went against me after the World Cup, and from those decisions that went against me, I just got unlucky. Grand scheme of things, got unlucky, and I was forced into playing a wild card. If I'm forced into playing a wild card in game week, if I'm not forced in and game week 9 seems really good, I'll go for it. If not, I won't be bothered.
We don't need to decide now, but it's good to look into the future and it's good to pre-plan. We talked about this at the start of the season. I'm not making a decision now, but it started to cross my thoughts because you need to pre-plan.
But you could, because you're going to pre-plan and you could dead end into 9.
I could dead end into 9, but I'm not going to be planning on dead ending into 9 because
no, but you could 2 weeks out. You could plan to do it.
Yeah, I could.
Because you could be sat at game week 7 thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to roll and then I'm going to transfer in, like you're going to transfer in whoever, if I have a look
till 9, look at the fixture difficulty.
If I have a look at game week 8, for example, game week 8 is who's got a really easy home fixture. Everton have got Bournemouth at home. Fulham have got Sheffield United at home. So you could, or Spurs have got Luton away. You could look at it and go, right, well, I'm going to transfer Son in for a week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
you don't have to worry about it after that. Exactly.
You don't have to worry about it afterwards. So, I think
it's good. It's good to have a look into the future, but you don't need to be stuck. And I think a couple of the times previously where I've learned from my mistakes is I've been made such a decision that I'm so stuck on early that I haven't moved. It's like, be flexible. Flexible. I was flexible on my bench boost. I just felt it was the right thing to do. But I wasn't nailed on it. It came good. I didn't have any injury news or anything that changed it. If I had an injury, I probably wouldn't have done it. I had 2 luxury transfers that I could build towards a bench boost. It paid off, and I felt like it was the right move. It wasn't knee jerk. I just felt it was the right move. So, and it's the same with this. Maybe it's a game week 9 wild card, like you said. My transfers next week will have in mind the dead end into game week 9 wild card. Most people don't even think about the week after next. So 5-6 weeks in advance. Someone asked Foker a question earlier, how far in advance should I be thinking? Rough ballpark, I'd say 5 to 6 game weeks, roughly.
Definitely.
Because you don't want to look at 12 fixtures, but you don't want to look at 1 or 2. You want to look at
I tend to look at 4 to 5. That's what I tend to do.
Yeah, I look at about 5.
I lose my head a little bit after that. 4 to 5, I think, is a really good. And when I'm making a decision on bringing a player in, it's usually based on the fact that they've got really good fixtures for the next 4 or 5.
But
so if we think about 5,
I won't bring a player in that's got 3 good and then awful. Won't bring him in. But yeah, I think you're right. If Darwin has 3 amazing fixtures, but then he has 7 shockers, I won't bring him in.
No. Because you're happy to take the hit on that. Yeah, but it just depends if you're going to play wildcard, because then you could get him in for the 3 and then get him out.
Yeah, that's about it really. Like I say, in general, it's a fairly quiet week. Last week was busy and it was bench boosts and it was planning and it was price rises and it was when do I do my transfers and busy. This week reeks. Look, people's teams are different, but this week reeks of saving your transfer, banking it for next week, international break, loads of power when you've got 2. Purvis is my first sub. João Pedro is my second sub. Even Saliba's not a disaster as my third sub. So I don't need to make a transfer. Even if it comes out tomorrow, Foden's injured. I'm just going to swap him.
See, that would force me. That would end up forcing me.
I don't think it would force me. I'd just bring a stupid.
No, it would probably force me to change João Pedro this week.
Yeah, but I think I would still roll.
Yeah, because I've got a few more problems because of the Botman injury.
Yeah, that's fair. I would still rather have the flexibility next week of going Pedro to Nunes and Foden down rather than just doing a single.
Yeah. So we're 14 points. Me and you.
Yeah. First and second in the FPL Weekly League. First and second in the GTF Invitational. So great starts for us both. But yeah, look, 14.
It's GTF. Punk needs to.
He needs to start listening to this. Yeah.
He needs to tune in.
Why drop a message and say, yeah, exactly. We're going to get paid.
Message and get him in. Get him on board.
Yeah. What I would say is, I am 14 points ahead. I would say 14 points is about a bench boost. So I would say we're pretty close.
And I'm gonna play it better than you.
Maybe. Do you know what I mean though? You were ahead, and my bench boost worked nicely, and I had a really good week on top of it. And that's
we said bench boost was 8 on a par.
I think more. Because bench boost at 8 is just 4 blanks as long as they're all playing.
Oh, that's what I mean.
You're not. 4 blanks is the worst you'll get. I would say 12 to 13 is about right for a bench boost. I've got 18, which is great. I think 12 to 13, which is fine. So I'm 14 ahead. I would have us on that level, personally. I may be 1% ahead, 1 point, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things. I think we're very close. 14 points, but you've got a bench boost. Very similar. We're first and second in every league we're in. So great start. Long way to continue. And on that bombshell.
Here. There's no bombshell. I'm not shocked.
No, nor am I really. And if you want arrogant FPL chat, tune in next week.
Tune in next week for FPL Weekly. Next week, obviously we've got not much to preview. So I think that we could do a little bit of a feature maybe the following week with regards to maybe what a wildcard team would look like.
Yeah. Right. Yep. The potential
and a little bit of
week 9 wildcard hype. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. So that's something that we could be looking into. Subscribe, do everything that you need to do.
Ches
share
on Twitter.
it.
Ches is a big name on Twitter now. FPL Weekly.
Yeah, we are. We're spreading the word. But yeah, don't be offended by anything that I say or do.
Otherwise, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Turn off now. Or it's too late.
Yeah.
If you're a snowflake, we suggest listening to something else.
Not FPL Weekly.
Not us.
Yeah. Look, I think it's been good. Like, subscribe. So,
see you next time. Thanks for listening.